I don't know if that came through, but we are live. Late. And I got beer in my hand. Welcome to Hang Out in the Crib with the Battle Pirates Crib crew. I am the BP professor who's occasionally not good at opening cans of beer. And with me tonight, we have Hefe.
Howdy, everybody.
And Daniel.
Hi, everyone.
And so we're going to talk about the state of the game tonight, which will be exciting. And for our beer selection today, I've got Moreline Bay of Bengal Double IPA. Grr.
My goodness, that's good. And so is it really as hoppy as the double IPA would
yeah, it's pretty hoppy.
Okay.
I was looking on the can. It didn't say what the alcohol content is because double IPAs are usually pretty high. But it doesn't say. But if I fall on the floor through the show, you'll know it was pretty high.
Okay. I thought it must be a state law. I mean, I thought that legally they had to tell you.
Yeah. So did I.
Okay.
All right. Well, Moreline, you're busted.
Yeah, maybe there's no alcohol in it. They're just fooling you.
No, there's alcohol in it.
Okay. All right.
All right. So I will share my screen and we can start the slides.
Okay.
All right. So it's the Not Whip edition.
Yeah. The winter hot SOG.
That's right. Now it's the SOG.
Yeah.
Some people like SOGs better than whips. All right. So Bounty round 4. What'd you guys think?
Effie?
You can go first since you guys talked me into joining during the Friday show, so you have more experience with it than I do.
I said I didn't get the main prize, but I did get all the armors and stuff that were in the lower tier prizes.
So, were you an alliance that was going after a Nexus?
No.
Yeah, neither was I. I didn't. I mean, I saw a post of a Nexus battle, but I sure didn't see much action by any Nexuses.
I did on the first day. Because I was checking them every once in a while. I didn't see the actual action in place, but I saw one of the MBK ones, and it was like there was tons of them, and then all of a sudden there was a bunch of flaming, MBK megas sitting around. I think they held it, but yeah, there was some action going on some of them. It seems like there was a little bit of collusion going along some of the higher alliances, and
decided
they basically
to spread out.
agreed.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I know some people that the in my sector it was very active. I mean, I won the bus, and I was number 93 in the sector.
Oh wow.
So, but I've seen other sectors where I would have been, like if I was in Daniel's sector, I would have been number 2.
Okay. Yeah, I got
go ahead.
28,000, so I picked up a RIT and the gun for the RIT, and then the new concussive armor 6.
Okay. Yeah, I still don't like the bubble times, and I still find it annoying.
Yeah, I got hit twice, and they both lost. So I actually got the defensive bonus. So I didn't really mind the bubble times, and I think I didn't get hit much because I was never holding many points. If you stay in that, what I was kind of starting to figure out this one is that if you stay in the range where you're just getting 2,000 and then banking, right? You won't be able to get enough points during the event to get that top prize, whatever it is. This time it was the hope.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get hit much because, if you have a decent base, you're just not worth it to somebody who can crack your base.
So you would be getting with the 4 checkpoints. You'd be getting about what? You'd be getting about 8,000 a day.
Yeah, at most. I ended up with 28 some, so I didn't quite max out. It was kind of tough for me to get.
That would be like
Monday.
Okay, so it'd be like 32 total, right?
Yeah.
You need at least a couple of days with the 10K one.
Right. Yeah, you've got to get through all the checkpoints and then start getting up to where you've got a nice stash of bounty that you're risking in order to be, I'll call it an attractive target for, getting hit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, look, I hit plenty of bases for a couple hundred bounty, but they were usually level 80s, level 90s. They weren't like tough bases. So there you go.
Yeah, and there's still something slightly flawed, I think, with the whole checkpoint system, because it was like, as soon as I started, I forget how many, soon after I started, it was like I got hit by somebody that had 32,000 bounty. This must have been on the, no, I'm not even sure how he was worth 0 to me. And I had he had 32,000 bounty total.
Oh, bang.
And I say yes. And I couldn't, and I had 1,000 bounty that was unsecured. And I had, that was all I had. And he could hit me, but I couldn't get anything from him.
Yeah. And that's probably the situation, a lot of people, I was on the flip side of that with most of the people I hit, right? I was stealing a couple hundred bounty from people who probably weren't doing that well. Sorry, guys. But I had a lot more bounty, but I was able to keep banking and protecting it.
Yeah. Which is, I don't know. I mean, between that mechanic combined with the fact that they're giving away, especially I don't like the fact that they're giving away defender halls first in this whole thing, because how do these things, I think we discussed this last week, how do these people ever get into bounty? I mean, it just seems like you need to spend a huge amount of stupid coins in order to have the tech in order to start hitting bases, or just go and club baby seals and do whatever and try to get into it. I mean, it seems like there's a step missing, because bounty is dividing the player group, but not as far as PvP. It's not sort of bringing them together.
Yeah, and this Nexus thing even made it worse, right? Because if you're already in a top alliance, well, then your alliance was able to hold the Nexus and get even more bounty than everybody else.
Yeah.
Evening, gentlemen. How are you?
Irf and George have joined the Crib Crew. Good evening.
Howdy, gentlemen.
How y'all doing?
We're good. We were just talking bounty.
Dandy, we were talking about bounty, how much we love the repair times and how it's creating a 2-class system.
It's bollocks. It's flawed, and shite, in my opinion. Basically,
That was succinct.
What do you really think, Irf?
Yeah.
What's the TLDR version?
well, I hate the fact that you have your 4 set hits, of 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, and then the next stage 5 lockout is like 10,000 before you can lock it out. So if you go through all of your 4 and then you don't manage to reach the 5, then you get locked out from the first 4, and then you're in the same sort of boat again. It really pisses me off.
I mean, the worst part about that is like I didn't get a chance to stop playing until later Friday, so I didn't get the first two locks on the first 2 days. Got the one on Saturday, and then Sunday rolled around. I was like, holy shit, 57,000 or whatever the hell crazy it was.
Mm.
That sucked ass.
Well, personally, myself, like I only managed to get in and start doing it on Sunday. So, all right, yeah, all right. Might have checked in and got a couple of the checkpoints in before that to boost my points. But I kind of, because I could only play one day, got well. I say play
Screwed.
one day, but in my time, so it's 2 days. Uh, so the one day that I managed to max out completely on the 4, and then kind of hit a point where I can go any further on checkpoint 5, then fucked me royally for fucking the next day. So, which is not good, really, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. All right.
I understand how. I don't know whether why that sort of like royally fucks you or not, but
Well, it's interesting, right? You guys are talking about this, and I'm starting to think that maybe a better system would have each checkpoint escalating. You'd have 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. So as you got more and more bounty during a day, the amount you had to risk would escalate. Before you two came on, we were talking about how you can just get 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, right? And you're not going to get a top prize, but you're going to do all right, and you're basically not. You can manage it pretty well, so you're not risking enough to make yourself worth hitting, which is basically what I did. I ended up 29,000.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about adding another lock where after the 10 on the first 3 days, the next one would be 20, and then on the last day, if you want to keep that 57 one, put like a 10 or a 15 one, and then the 57 one. That way, there are people at least during the first couple of days that will be worth something to you when you start getting into a higher level of bounty.
Yeah, it's got to be tough as you build up that there aren't many players that you can hit for bounty when you got 20,000, 30,000 unsecured, right?
Yep, and you can lose a whole lot.
yeah. Well, this
You
is
know,
the thing as well, though. From just going from the 2K, 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 and then to 10K. If you like just get 8K, if that, the amount of people that you can hit is like 4 in my case, in which I couldn't get into, which then effectively locked me out. So I had the 8K, and then as soon as the 24-hour period come through, it went, oh, hang on a minute, you've got 8K, so there's your first 4 locked out. So you've locked out the 8K, and now you're in exactly the same boat as you were yesterday. You can't hit nothing.
yep.
Interesting. All right. Well, maybe we don't want to drag on bounty forever, like some other people did. So should we move on?
Yes, please. Pretty please.
All right. All right. So let's get on to the state of the game. And the big news is a lot of people were asking for this. Here it is. Sometimes be careful what you ask for, right? And what I'm talking about is the 4-month cycle. So, when these raid cycles or raid types first came out, they were 4 months long. Kixeye shortened them to 3. There was much wailing and gnashing of teeth. People said, we want 4 months back. We want 4 months back. Especially because you got to build 2 fleets for each raid if you want to do really well. So they did that, except Garrison is now out of the raid cycle. No Garrison raids. It's just the FM. And Garrison gets its own raid. So and then the garrison cycle is also a 4-month cycle. So now you've got, people were thinking, well, now before you had in a year you had the 4 cycles, right? So you needed 8 fleets in a year, 8 PvE fleets in a year. Now you've got
You needed 4.
well, you absolutely needed 4, but you wanted 8.
Well, yeah, what are you saying at this point, George? You wouldn't want your Phoenix and your Skyfire?
No, I'm saying that back in the day, it was quarterly.
Oh, okay.
We only needed 1. Now we need 2 on top of. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, okay. So now you've got your 3 siege, assault, and skirmish cycles. So that's 6 fleets, and then you've got 3 garrison cycles, and so that's maybe another 3 fleets. So now you've gone from needing 8 fleets a year to 9 fleets a year, despite this 4-month cycle. So, I'm wondering. Now that's the simple math, right? But what I'm wondering is whether you're going to have to completely redo your FM fleet each time they do it every 4 months. I'm guessing you won't need to start from scratch, right? I mean, a lot of people this time were able to build 1 tank and be done.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is in the release notes, they really, really hammered, not in the game release, like not in the game state of the game, but in the forums, they hammered the CIC thing for three paragraphs.
Yeah, it's coming up. It's coming up, George.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I basically just copied the release notes and then and highlighted them. Yeah, so we'll get to that part.
All I have to say on the matter is 150 pages because they changed 1 target.
Yep. Yep.
That's all I've got to say on the matter is, have you not fucking learned? Basically, that's it really. That's all I can say.
And they've only released enough information to really scare people. I mean, they've
released enough information to really piss people off after what's just happened. So they're going to go, well, we're going to change it every 4 months. Well, that means refits. That means this and that. Right? What, personally, myself, I reckon it's a really bad idea because the whole point of having the FM is so that lower level players can catch up. The whole point of it is having a 12-month period of stability at which at any point someone can join the game and then build upon what they've got and then improve it and improve it and improve it in order to get better and better attack. Build it to the point where when it does change, then they've got at least a fighting chance to be hitting the high level targets and getting the better tech still. And however, with a 4-month cycle of it, that's not going to happen. And that's my main issue with it, to be perfectly honest.
Well,
yeah,
I think
my hope is it's not replacing a fleet, it's adding a new ship to an existing fleet. That's what I'm hoping is going on. And there's some words to that effect in there, but that's my hope is like, okay, now I'm gonna make my FM fleet better by adding this 1 new ship into it. And that's the way I hope it works, but I'm running at a trust deficit with them.
But that's why I brought up the CIC is because like in that section they really kept on going back to that CIC, and I don't know if that means that we're gonna have a hull for a year, and we're just gonna get different CICs quarterly. Because the timing of when garrison switches is at the same time that we generally have the escalation stuff for the raid stuff.
To be fair though, 3 different hull names were actually announced in the thing. So
yeah, one from Hitchhikers, one from Game of Thrones. I forget where the 3rd one's from, but yeah. Larry, you want to go to the next slide?
Sure.
Everybody seems to,
Yeah, we're talking
That was-
CICs. So yeah. You know what I worry about with these CICs is whether it's just going to be a build time escalation on hulls.
I mean, the TAC modules
Yeah,
do
that
take a
would
long
suck.
time.
That
I
would
mean,
really suck.
And
I'll
they're
be honest, I just don't like the idea flat out. Personally, I think just the whole point of the Forsaken mission is for people to be able to do it every week. It's a chore, yes. Fucking nobody actually really wants to do it, but we've got to do it because that's where our tech comes from. And by changing it like this, you're not giving people the opportunity to catch up and do it.
Well, the thing is that
Properly.
the release notes actually do say that they're committed to maintaining the 3 hulls as viable throughout the year, and they codenamed them Xavier, Egret, and Zaphod. But the thing is they clearly said in the release notes there's going to be the Forsaken hull, which is going to be the auto hull, the Draconian, which is going to be the skill. I'm betting the third one is the generalist. So that would be just three hulls for the entire year, which would be awesome, depending on, like Larry said, what the build times for these CICs are going to be. That's going to be the key feature.
And the weapon and the special that come with it, because if they made them conquer, because I did make, because I read through the release notes, and I asked Rampage if is there any more information, because like I said, I think that there was just merely enough information released to scare people, and all we got was there was going to be some tech that's going to get released in the raid related to this. I don't know what it's going to be, but there's going to be something, and they're going to talk more about it in this upcoming tech store raid. There will be something available, but I just wish we had, I don't know. I'm not sure how. I mean, it almost feels like they don't know what's going to come, because it seems like with the reaction to the 115, you just scare the crap out of people, and then they fix it a couple weeks later, but they lost a lot of people. This kind of information, the way it's getting released, is there's not enough in here for people to feel like this is going to be okay.
There's absolute uproar about it. If you even look at the comments that are on, people just want an FM that's just standardized and it's going to just sit there, and you can do a whole, do a fleet build for a year and then just be able to do it, because it's a chore, but it's where our tech comes from, right? You don't want to be fucking using your shipyard to bloody change your fleet every 4 months. Nobody wants to do that. All right, fair enough. This time when it changed, my build still worked. I just needed to tweak it a little bit. But that's still a bit of shit. And when you've got people that are working from like low level stuff where they're going hitting 40s and then manage to get to 60s, then they manage to get to 80s, and then they manage to get to the high level targets. This is just going to screw them right up. It's all right for high level players, don't get me wrong, but you've got to look at the masses, not and people joining the game is people that are going to continue the game carrying on. It's not rocket science in my mind that if people are going to get left behind, I'm getting pissed off of it now because I can't hit titanium targets because I missed out on certain things, and then because the only way of me getting that is by doing TLCs, in which it requires me to have the hull that I need to get in order to do the fucking TLC.
Yeah, that's something we talked about that's something we talked about in the pre-show, with the fact that last week they ran Tech Up 3 with the bounty, and now we're in the second week of Hunter. So there's really no TLC. There's really not for a lot for players to do right now. I'm like, why didn't they release,
Ironclad or Skyfire?
Ironclad, Cannoneers,
Skyfire TLCs.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. Because I'm in the predicament at the minute with I can't progress any further because I don't have a fleet that can complete all of the assault style stuff that I need in order to progress, right? So
Oh
it's
God,
like
yeah, you can't do tech up. You can't do hunter games, right?
because all of them revolve around having either the Skyfire or Phoenix, and I've not got the stuff that I need in order to do that.
Yeah.
I've got Apollos, but I can't get past like price pack 2 without spending an extortionate amount of coin.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish they would run. Yeah, like that's exactly why I wish they would run the Chore Fleet TLCs without making them harder, because I can't stand the escalation of the damage and difficulty. But these are things that are basic needs of the players. Run one every other week. I mean, if you don't need it, you don't need it. If you want the tokens, you get the tokens, and if you actually need the tech, it's going to be a godsend. Why not just run them?
See, the thing to me is, right, if you're going to run the Hunter DLC, to me, in my mind, as a businessman, I'd be going, right, well, people that haven't got the tech in order to do that aren't going to be able to do it. So what do I do? Oh, wait a minute. I'll give them an opportunity to have the tech that they require to do that. So, i.e., the Skyfire campaign, I'll stick that in there. They can do that. They can coin the fleet, and then they can hit the other TLCs in order to catch up. It's not fucking rocket science, really, is it?
Yep.
You're double winning then, aren't you?
Yeah, and Michigan Marauders brought up
who need to catch up as well.
And the other thing that I would love to see them do, because, and I said this in the other show, and I think I said it in the article, I want to see them offer the time limited offers and be realistic. Because look, let's be honest, the builds suck. If someone's going to buy them, you already got them. They're going to have to refit, right? So when the Ironclads or Cannoneers come up, don't make them $100 for a damn fleet. Make them $5 and $10 for the damn fleets. Because once someone buys them, they're stuck. They got to refit them. They got to play. You got them hooked, because now they also invested in their mind, right? And it's the lost cost fallacy. So just sell the damn things.
I'm kind of LTO'd out. I don't even read them anymore. I log on, I see 13 frickin' LTOs. I don't even want to read them. I just want to click them off and get on with the game. I don't know.
No, that's true too.
They offer a dozen at a time, all the time. I just can't read them. Can't be asked.
Yeah, there hasn't been a good one since the Millennium Gun.
Millennium Gun!
I love that one.
We need to look and see what the date of that was and have a little, celebratory party every time that year passes, because it's been over a year, or maybe it's the year's coming up. I don't know.
It's coming up. Yeah, I think it's coming up. Isn't it?
Wow. Yeah, we should have a special. We should have a special show for the Millennium Gun LTO.
Yeah. Give out 500 gold to a lucky.
Yeah.
Larry's paying.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what else we got here. All right, so this is more about the Garrison stuff. And by the way, I guess I know who doesn't know It's from It's. I believe Arisbeck was the author of this State of the Game. So apparently he is the one who does not know It's from It's.
That's awesome.
I mean, I don't want to be a grammar Nazi, but it just jumps out at me now.
It does.
So 3 months of nothing but mortars. Apparently some players sometimes said that. Dr. Death is going to keep that person flat if he's ever identified. Apparently, so I hear.
For years to come, yes.
Yes. Maybe we need to do some searching on the forums.
if this person actually exists. I don't think this person actually exists
well, see,
because nobody was asking for them to change the FM cycle all the time.
what they said was there was a lot of feedback, and I don't know that the feedback was directed towards the Garrison event cycle. I think it was more directed towards all the fucking TLCs that we had that were Garrison based at the same time that that event ended and the FM was going. We had an early FM change. We had Garrison.
I'm just going to interrupt here.
And then we had a ton of TLC.
Right? Sorry to say it, right? I'm going to interrupt here. And the person who said exactly that phrase, right, is George.
It was George.
When the hell did I say that?
You said it on this show. You said 3 months of nothing but mortars is what you said when you were talking about the Garrison fleet.
TLCs.
And then changing everything. TLCs. And then having the TLC on top of everything. It was just like they've cut out a little bit of it.
I need a reference point for this now.
It's just
all right,
like
I'm going to say
having 3 months of
I'm going to say nothing came up on the forums. Okay,
he just wants me to get flattened by Dr.
You all right there, Hefe?
Yeah, no, it was amusing.
All right,
watch the shows back. You said that. It just feels like there's like nothing but 3 months of mortars.
All right. Well, that wasn't on the forums.
Yeah.
So
it wasn't on the forum, no, but it was said at some point.
All right.
Always a possibility. I mean, the other thing that maybe when George was saying that, he was probably quite upset with the accelerate function on the monolith, and that was another thing that people hated as well when he said that.
Yeah, exactly.
I was pissed off that they changed it 2 days before the thing. I remember saying something about the mortar thing, but that was with regard to TLCs. But now I'm curious, man. Someone find me that show.
No, that's what I mean. It was about the TLCs, but they've obviously taken it as like too many mortars. Obviously,
right now it's too many assault.
No shit.
Yeah,
it really is as well. And that's what
careful now. They might take that and use it for something. Though.
All right. Are we done with this page? More on the FM. So this is where they talk about the three hulls: Xavier, Egret, Zaphod. They say it's going to be about efficiency. Your older Garrison hulls will work as well, just not as well. So maybe your fleet is not going to be instantly obsolete when they change the FM.
They said
it will work. Yeah, but that's exactly the same as me saying that I can use Punishers with a shit ton of antis compared to, so I can use 3 Punishers with a shit ton of antis on, right? Compared to using 1 Zelo with a few antis on.
Yep.
You know what I would hope for at the least is just a week or two of transition.
Oh God, yes. Holy crap. I don't understand why they're so opposed to that.
Yeah.
That would have made the whole 115 change far more palatable.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Good grief.
But
all right.
It's kind of, how do you want to take it? Because, you know, like I said, less efficient could mean the fact of, like, you know, having Punishers compared to a Zelo.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to take it, but I want to give it.
It might take you a bit more time, but you might be able to do it. But yeah, I don't know.
All right.
It's crazy. I don't know how I want to take it, really.
All right, we ready to talk expeditions?
This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, you know, this is Kixeye's answer to the chores. I think I kind of mentioned that, you know, they'd been talking about expeditions since State of the Game, the Midsummer State of the Game. And so now it's in another State of the Game with a little more detail. We still don't know when it's going to actually be released. But this is supposed to be Kixeye's answer to the chores. So you choose a fleet, you fight a target, and then it vanishes for a while, and then it comes back with resources. And the better you do in that combat, the more resources you get, apparently.
Yeah, it said, I'm trying to find it on this where it said something. Actually, I have it on my thing here. It said something along the lines of you fight a single, okay, so fight a single battle for that resource. Based on how well you do, a cycle time will be set for you to get that resource. So for all those people that are having lag issues or not a great fleet setup, you're kind of boned.
Yeah,
I
this isn't going
mean,
to help people that can't. The people who have the most trouble doing chores, this is still not going to help, I think.
it might exacerbate it actually. And you know, they didn't
Yeah,
say
exactly.
they didn't say how long. Like I have a list of damn questions that I put on the article. Like how long is it going to last? How much are you going to get? I mean, it has to be more than what you would be able to just go out and hit, you know, for 20 minutes on the map, you know?
Well, not necessarily, right?
If you let this run overnight, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Larry.
No, go ahead, because that's about what I was going to say too.
Yeah, if you do this at the end of the night and let it run, we have no idea how long this lasts. It could last for 6 hours, and you know you can do this before you go to work, before you go to bed, whatever. And at some point where you're not going to be using those fleets,
And what
and
if
so
it
at that
lasts?
point,
But here's the question: what happens if it lasts days or hell a week?
But
but
you
you
know
can
that might
cancel
be
it.
okay, and
You can
that might be
cancel it.
okay too, because look at base parts, right? I do a turret and it takes 12 days. I do a weapon, it takes what, 10 days, right? I know I'm not going to need base parts for a week. So yeah, I could do this and I could give up that fleet for a week, especially because my cannoneers don't do anything else, right? I don't care. Let them collect base parts for a
Yeah,
week.
but that's
And if they
but
collect,
Larry, you're a top end player, mate, aren't you?
yeah.
So
But
you know, for everybody else, they're going to be screwed.
but well, yeah. I mean, look, if you need it quicker, then you're gonna need it quicker, and you got to hit it. But I don't know. Yeah, maybe this is gonna be another rich get richer thing.
I mean,
Yeah,
it depends on how they bring it out. I mean, the thing is, if it's a fleet that you don't need, then you know, have at. I mean, they do allow you to recall it. The question is like, can you recall it and then send it back out, or do you have to fight the battle again, or are you just done? I mean, you know, it's a tease. It's a good tease because we're talking about it, but there's just not enough information yet.
yeah, and that's the whole thing with this entire state of the game is there's not a lot of information. And I assume that's been done intentionally, so it doesn't become whip-like.
well, no, it is sort of like a whip, right? It's just sort
Yeah.
of like, hey, we're working on expeditions, and they'll be great.
Yep. And I mean, the one good thing out of this though that I saw was that your fleet comes back repaired.
Yeah,
That's a positive, right?
yeah. Actually, that's nice because if you do a chore and you want to get a fleet beat up while you're doing that chore just to do it more easily, then you got multiple fleets to repair, right? If you're doing multiple chore types. This you could send, you can send a titanium fleet out and a base parts fleet out and a uranium fleet out. Send them all out at the same time, and they'll all come back repaired.
Yep. And the other thing was that they also seem to be setting this up as a diminishing returns thing. So every time, because it says
Yeah,
each time a fleet
that
drops
I
off,
don't like.
the total
Big
amount of
time, I
resources
don't like.
per trip decreases. Yeah. So I mean, until we see it again, there's not enough information, but I'm cautiously optimistic.
Well, I hope.
Or for saying you did like this or you didn't like this, the diminishing returns part of it. Because I sort of like the diminishing returns because that means
No,
you're going to get most of your pay right at the beginning. And so if you only want to let it run for 30% of the time, but I don't know if you don't let it run through if you come back repaired. I don't know,
yeah,
but I'm just thinking that way you're getting
that's kind
you're,
of the
you're
way that
getting
I
money
was
up
looking at
front.
it. That's kind of the way that I was looking at it. I was thinking, that you're going to have to run the course in order to get an effective amount. I reckon is the way that I'm looking at it, and
Okay.
The one thing I do hope is that with the diminishing returns, it's not going to take calculus to figure out how much resource you're going to get over a set period of time.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the one good thing is too is I'm thinking about this, and I'm because one of the things I wanted to know is, hey, can you cancel it and go back out or fight this battle again and do it, or if you didn't have a good run on the battle, are you stuck with that battle? I'm assuming yes, because I just thought of this. I'm like, if you have a really crappy battle, rather than retreat, just finish the battle and let it go out on the expedition and let it repair. That way, when it comes back, it's already repaired.
Yeah. So yeah, when the fleet is recalled or the overall timer ends, it's available immediately and fully repaired.
I like
So
that.
then, how quick can you recall it?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, because
Well, it
I
says
was,
it's available immediately. I mean, I don't know. Unless it's going all the way across the world and it's 2 hours. I don't know.
no, he's saying like, is there a minimum timer that you have to have it out on the expedition before it comes back repaired? Because otherwise, you just recall it and then go and do it again.
Yeah, which would be fun. It would allow you to experiment with how to hit it, and I think that would be like an interesting thing at the beginning, because sort of like I like the current 115 that we had, because we were able to experiment with all the tokens that they, at least as far as higher end players that had so many icebreaker tokens, so many monolith tokens, so many gridiron monolith tokens. You had all these tokens that you could just sort of play with this, and not really worry about, you weren't spending gold. It was just sort of like coming out with builds and testing them. I mean, it's too bad we didn't have a ton of Zelos build tokens, but, as far as the monolith, the gridiron monolith, the Sagos, all that kind of stuff, I found that part of the game sort of fun, able to play with my build versus a target for free.
Yep.
So,
okay.
But if that's the case with this, where if you, like George says, if you mess up on a battle, you can let it go through, and then if you can recall it immediately and say, I don't want this, and I come back fully repaired, it gives you a chance to be better at it.
Yeah, see, I don't know that they're going to give you a second shot at it because it says a single combat. I don't know.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
I don't think. They might limit the number of expeditions you can try over a given period of time.
When you say expeditions, are there's going to be like actual targets that you have to hit, or you're just going to send the fleet out?
No. It says that you fight the single battle as a reference, and then once you have that, it's just going to go and do its own thing on its own. And I don't even know that it's going to be. I mean, I doubt it's going to even be on the map. Otherwise, there's going to be shit flying around everywhere on the map.
Yeah, I assume it'll be through a relay or something.
Yeah,
or through your tower.
Tower maybe.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Like
And I'm thinking, if you can click back one, there was something I think we didn't hit on. What, back one slide?
You're waiting for the video, aren't you?
No, I'm not waiting for this. Oh yeah, I'm killing time until the video out. Never mind. I'm not finding it fast enough. What I was looking for. So I'm sorry. Keep on going on.
All right, let's keep rolling then. Weapon build times reducing for research stuff, which is nice because they suck. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, there's a couple interesting things in here for higher end players, but it was mostly properly aimed at lower end players.
Yeah,
but there was a couple interesting things thrown in there.
I wish that they did more, honestly, for the lower players, low players, new players, and returning players, because they're really fucked.
Yeah, the returning players, they need to figure out something. If they've been gone for a raid cycle. But it was interesting that because I know people were. I mean, we looked at it a little bit earlier, George, as far as how to overcome the antis on the King's Writ. And then one thing people were doing was they were building victory mortars with useless turrets, but now that's down to like it's instant build, the victory mortar, just to put it up there. You know, it's 300 seconds or something like that for the 5.
Yeah.
So you can get that up and spam mortars into the air. I'm not sure that's the best solution, but I know that people were doing that, and that's one thing that players make.
I put a Hollock Citadel on my base.
Yeah, I put an oppressor because I already had it mostly built. You know, but yeah.
With judgments, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I got too. That's why I picked that one, because that was the one I had judgments on.
Yeah. It already had all judgments on it, so you know, because then they have to fire at each mortar that comes out. I think they have to fire at each one 8 times or something like that. Yeah, it's 2. It's a salvo of 2 and then a Merv of 3.
Oh, okay.
So
nice.
Go ahead.
All right. Holiday rewards.
All right. Does anybody understand the last sentence?
No fucking idea why it's coming. Like, you get it now and you get a surprise next week.
So redeem the small Forsaken treasure chest in the FM
today
to receive a 3-hour skirmish repair token next week.
Yeah.
So theoretically, next week, as I redeem my small Forsaken treasure chest, I'll get a 3-hour skirmish repair token. You know, this sort of delayed gratification really blows. I want presents, and I want them now.
And it just seems like it would cause tickets all over the place.
Should I even say?
But Larry, you'll appreciate it so much more in the waiting.
Should I say I just want 50 gold for Christmas?
Yeah.
I want the 100. I want the 100 gold.
I mean, I think you need to pay the extra every year and get Kickside Prime, so it's delivered in 2 days, as opposed to having to wait the full week to get that skirmish repair token delivered. With the economy shipping. That's the only thing, and I still don't understand the mouse. The mouse is new.
Yeah, what is that? Is that a mouse or a hamster or a chinchilla?
I'm gonna go gerbil.
Gerbil?
But gerbil, yeah.
You think Harlock likes gerbils?
Yeah.
He was watching South Park recently. He saw that episode of South Park and is curious now.
Yeah.
A curious Harlock.
Yeah. And that may be the next flagship, Harlock's gerbil. So
For all the players who want to tell Kickside where to stick it.
Yeah, they still haven't released FA's junk, so Harlock's gerbil is the next best thing, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Whatever happened to all of those too? They made that big thing earlier this year. Everyone got all upset, and now didn't hear peep about hulls or anything anymore.
Yeah.
Half done here, half done there, half done everywhere.
All right. Undersea Web. This was released last week by accident. By the way, my supposition on the show that they didn't mean to release it and released it was confirmed by Kicksai.
Borne out. Yep.
So
anyway, they seem to have clarified it, and it's like so.
Yeah, because Templar, one of the mods, posted this, and then Rampage included in the original post the explanation by, was it Raken or Asper? Which GD made that? I forget.
I think it was Arispex.
Okay. He did a clarification that was added by Rampage to the original post. So I assume this is kosher, because I looked at this and then tried to recreate it, because I originally wanted to recreate it with like cutting and pasting parts of that blueprint to have this make sense. And I couldn't do it. I mean, it's still, it's one of the most convoluted blueprints they've ever put together.
Right.
Or incomplete.
Yeah, well, this thing about equip portal only never showed up anywhere in the blueprint, I believe. So
It was implied.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So anyway, every faction gets the subsurfacing, which is what we correctly guessed on the show. If you're Scourge, you have a field that gives concussive deflection. And then you also have a field that slows and enemy ships. And then you get some deflections on yourself. And then if you're not Scourge, you have this corrosive damage field and then the deflections on yourself that are lower than the Scourge deflections. And then apparently, when it's destroyed, the subsurfacing and the combat speed continue, but the other two don't.
I guess
Is
the
that right?
bottom two don't.
Wait, so the
Because
combat
they're portal only. Because I don't know. I don't have one built.
Well,
But
if
I've
it's
heard
destroyed,
that-
then its deflection doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So these bottom two on each one wouldn't apply anymore because the portal's dead. But so the assumption would be the rest of them still apply?
I thought the combat.
I know it still surfaces. Go ahead.
Yeah, I thought that combat speed was for whatever faction because it was showing as still working after it was destroyed in factions other than the Scourge.
Well, take it up with the leaders because that's why I said I put a disclaimer about it because this is what Rampage added to his post. So, and I could not make this make sense out of actually looking at the blueprint. So I'm just posting what he posted here because I couldn't make this make sense out of what I saw.
Neat. Okay. Some answers, more questions.
As always.
Ready to move on?
Sure. I don't know if we got much left.
Last
Oh,
slide.
there we go. There we go.
All right. Looks like Irf's got to go. Say goodbye, Irf.
Later.
Later.
Hi, Nerf.
Go.
All right.
So, guys, see you later.
Go look up that time when George was.
I want that video.
Yeah, we're gonna play it as the intro to the show from now on.
So
I will find it.
Thanks, sir. Okay.
All right. Good night, man.
All right. I put together this slide real quick. This is sort of a follow-on from last week. What are you bringing to the raid? We talked about how last week in the FM, if you want to build as many hulls as possible in the hull raid of whatever new siege hull is probably coming out, this is what you should do. You should save your build tokens, and then this week save your chests. So this is just some screenshots. I didn't do enough of the FM to win the legendary chest. You can see my really stylish artwork here. Good match for Kick-Size font. But anyway, so you can see what I've got is I've got the 2 days ship build token, or 2 of those from last week. I have the 2 1 days. One is from last week and one is from this week. And then I have the 12 hours from the bounty, and then I have the 6 1 hours from Tech Up. And then I'll be earning but not opening the elite and legendary Forsaken chests from the FM this week. And so hopefully, I'll get 2 days in here and 3 days, and probably that's it in here. So I'll have a total of 8, 9, 14 and a half days, almost 15 days. So that's 3 hulls right off these tokens.
Yeah, and then you can buy the ones in the raid. But yeah, this is because you don't have to. You're allowed to own. This is your limit on tokens, and you're allowed to own one of these chests at any time. So it allows you to sort of bankroll and save up more tokens than you were prior. So this is the first time we've had a chance to use this mechanic. I wasn't going to say exploit, but to use this mechanic in order to get ships out for BXP weekend.
Yep. All right, and that is the end of the slides. I think George wants to visit her again.
Oh yeah,
George.
If Crossbones could talk.
So we'll leave her up for a while. And anyway, that's about it. Welcome, Brom. You kind of slid into the show without saying hello, so
You bastard.
welcome.
Now he's too good. Now he's too good to talk to us too.
What
Shit.
a jerk.
And well, I think he heard about your comments about the FM and the mortars, so he's not talking to you.
Yeah.
Yes. And I did post, in case somebody would like to join the after show, I posted a link to the show in the chat, and
yeah, all kinds of good stuff in the after show. Last week someone talked about a good tip for getting titanium. They were running gut spills into 83s and doing that on auto, and could do a lot of them without actually taking a whole lot of damage, which doesn't seem obvious at first, but I did it and it's true. So there might be more gems like that this evening, but you'll only know if you join the after show.
Yeah. And I'm posting 2 links. The second link is, I don't know. There's been an issue recently with the invite. The main way you're supposed to invite people to the show with Facebook. So the second one will try them both because people are getting errors with the way you're supposed to invite people. So the second one seems to work better. At least over the last week, it used to not work. So we'll see. If anybody tries and gets an error message, try the other one. And if they both don't work, well, Ren could figure it out.
Fucker.
Hey, I'm gonna say this. I just looked at the posting for the web, and Templar's thing is wrong. That combat speed and turn speed in the cavitation field are not dependent on your faction.
Everybody gets the turn speed in combat.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. I mean, Rampage posted it, so I assumed it was blessed. But what I was saying when I did it is that I could not recreate what he did based on the blueprint, and I assumed that he had talked to somebody, and then Rampage had talked to somebody, so it had been double checked and double blessed, and that's why I posted it.
I'm going by what Arispex actually wrote, because he actually specifically mentions non-Scourge player and Scourge players and says what those bonuses are for them. And then he describes the walls and the difference between the walls and sand traps. And the sand trap part of this is the negative combat speed and negative turn speed and the cavitation field.
Well, but he also put its in that, right? So do you just throw it away at the first error? I don't know. I'll let you guys discuss that.
All right. I'm going to fix it. Bring it up. So let's see, we can do this.
Hey, he actually used its properly on this one. No matter how much you shoot it, it's still there. All
right, so let's do that. And then we'll do that. People can't see my artwork live. Sorry, guys. All right. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Are we ready? The fixed
dun dun
slide
dun.
as soon as I can screen share.
Are we gonna be hanging this up on the
Look at my beautiful artwork.
All right, I can live with that.
I are good at art.
Oh my.
So, Larry,
Yeah.
Here's what's confusing for me, or stupid. I don't know. Under the same faction, if you're Scourge, why do you get both a plus 2,000 concussive deflection and then a 7,200 concussive deflection?
Well, so I guess the 7,200, and maybe it'll be actually 9,200, affects the portal itself, and then 2,000 affects things around it.
Ah, okay. So maybe the portal gets 9,200, but you say the portal definitely gets the 7,200, and things around only get 2,000.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, that helps. Thank you.
Cool. All right. Anything else from our joined after show people before we end the broadcast? Mary? Mike? Rum?
I missed most of the show, so I got nothing to say right now.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, I know. I can't stand these YouTube shows. I never watch them.
No, me neither.
I'm
They
not
all
even
suck.
touching that. I think that's it.
All right. Hefe, you still there? Gotta end the show, man.
He went to have a beer. Get
Yeah,
a
I
beer.
guess.
I don't know. Who knows?
He needs another because he didn't have the Bay of Bengal double IPA.
Oh, is that what it was tonight? There you go.
I'd want to make that noise that kid in Stranger Things makes, but I can't do it.
Oh, I just watched that show with my daughter again. That was great. It's like the chewy sound or whatever the hell he does.
Yeah.
You should get a clip of that and open up the shows with that.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, the people that joined later, which link did work? Did one of them? Did both of them work, or the first one
No,
work?
the first one was broken. Second worked.
Okay, just checking. Trying to figure out which one to post next. So.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I was doing some.
Beer drinking.
Didn't want to leave. What?
We were waiting for you to end the show.
Oh, okay. All right.
Hello.
Well, I'm gonna post the Hangout link one more time, and we will see to the after show, where we're going to be doing extensive reviews on George's previous statements, and it's going to be a little bit Zapruder film, but
we're gonna bring him before the special counsel.
you know, grassy knoll and everything going to be involved with this, so don't miss it, and see you. All you guys on Friday or next Wednesday, and you're welcome to join the Friday show. And good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thanks for showing up.